Hi and welcome to ZoomTV, the show where we explore everything that flies, drives and floats and invite you along for the experience. Basically, we're going to give you information so you can make a better purchasing decision. On today's show, we take a close look at some of the popular RVs and 4x4s currently on the market, starting with the very popular Volkswagen Touareg.
This car gives us an all-round driving experience.
Thanks to City Toyota, I take a look at the all-new, completely redesigned RAV4. Toyota have released their improved Rav much sooner than expected. I guess that's because they couldn't wait to show us all what they have in store. Thanks to John Hughes Kia, Alan Simons takes you inside the Kia Sorento.
The 2013 Kia Sorento SI wagon is practically an entirely new car underneath.
And finally, our Esanda Celebrity Hitchhiker today is V8 Supercar Champion, Craig Lowndes. Welcome to ZoomTV.
Today, we've made the short trip to one of Perth's northern suburbs to Wangara Volkswagen. And it's here that we're going to be able to take a look at the all-new Volkswagen Touareg. Wangara Volkswagen stock the entire range of new passenger and commercial vehicles and also specialise in servicing genuine Volkswagen parts, fleet vehicles, vehicle finance and insurance. Well, here's the Passat, not today. Tiguan, no. The Golf, a little later. Here it is. This is the all-new 2014 Volkswagen Touareg. And the first thing you notice when you approach this car is that, well, it's a big car, but it has a certain understated elegance. Well, of course it does. It's a Volkswagen. Let's have a closer look. The Volkswagen Touareg is not just another SUV. With the Touareg, we have that classic styling I mentioned earlier, refined power and luxurious interior. This car gives us an all-round driving experience. Packed with all the extras as standard, the VW Touareg is in a class of its own. Now, we already know, because it's a Volkswagen, that it's going to be a good drive. Let's find out exactly how good a drive this Touareg is. What we have here is class. The Volkswagen 4Motion all-wheel drive system is unbeatable. No matter what the terrain, the Touareg will take you up it, over it, or through it smoothly. This car features one of the best back seat benches ever produced, offering 6.3 inches, or just over 16 centimetres of fore-aft travel. Safety is also paramount, with 6 airbags as standard, along with stability control and 4-wheel anti-lock disc brakes. This car is more luxurious than its competitors. It's solid, stable, and certainly a whole lot more comfortable. 5 people can ride in this car in absolute comfort. And because of the high driving position in the front, you can clearly see out ahead. And with the generous cargo space, you can take everything you need away with you when you go on trips. The Touareg used to be a little bit overweight, but now, with the use of advanced materials and techniques, Volkswagen has engineered about 230 kilos out of the vehicle, gaining up to 20% better fuel efficiency. 8-speed automatic transmission and permanent 4-wheel drive are the building blocks in the powertrain department. And this model has our favourite engine, the 6-cylinder, 3-litre turbo diesel, renowned for its torque and efficiency. The Touareg features a platform that was jointly engineered with Audi and Porsche, who use it on their Q7 and Cayenne, giving this car a truly world-class foundation for many thousands of dollars cheaper than those other premium brands. This is a great crossover car. Of course it is. It's a Volkswagen. To find out more, go to wangaravolkswagen.com.au or follow the links from ZoomTV.
If you're part of a motoring club and you've got an event coming up, go to our website, zoomtv.com.au, click on the events page and tell us about it. You never know, we might come along. After the break, thanks to City Toyota, I check out the all-new RAV4. That's next on ZoomTV. The The Toyota RAV4 has been around for about 20 years. It's definitely one of the most popular models Toyota make. I mean, sales in 2014 are predicted to be 20% more than 2013. And why is that? Well, it's obvious Toyota have invested heavily into the new RAV4. They've made changes to its look, they've added a ton of technology, it drives better, it handles better, it's overall a much better car. Now, how do I know that already? I've been driving this car for a few days, and I've got to say, it's good. It's very good. Toyota have released their improved, brand new RAV much sooner than expected. I guess that's because they couldn't wait to show us all what they have in store. The RAV4 Cruiser comes with Toyota's keyless entry. Well, you still get a key, but it's not the key you're used to, it's more of a fob. As long as the key's on your person and with you inside the car, the RAV starts at a push of a button. Now, I know what you're thinking, what if someone is in the car and you're around the car and they try and start it? Well, watch this. No one can have the key and it won't start. Key not detected. How cool is that? The RAV4 Cruiser is the top of the RAV range. It has looks, gear, and a ton of technology, not to mention the safety advances. The 17-inch alloy wheels have been swapped for bigger, bolder 18-inch ones, with a bit more rubber on them. And overall exterior styling has been smoothed in some areas and aggressively unleashed in others. The RAV4 Cruiser would have to be one of the most self-aware cars Toyota's ever released. I mean, it comes with a ton of onboard safety. You get blind spot monitoring, lane departure system, reverse camera, and something Toyota call reverse traffic alert system. What does all that mean? Well, I'm about to explain. In the rear corners of the vehicle sits 2 radar sensors that monitor your blind spots on either side of the car. If you flick your indicator on and another car happens to be in the way, a warning light will flash inside your rear view wing mirror. The same works if you're reversing out of a car park and someone drives up behind you. The car will let you know. And if you're on a long drive and start to doze off and drift out of your lane while you're driving, you'll quickly be woken up by an audio alert. This car knows exactly what you're doing and how to prevent you from making a mistake. Now, having driven the RAV4 Cruiser for a couple of days, I've got to tell you, I'm a big fan of the interior layout. It's luxurious, it's simple, but it all works. And I love the dual climate control system and the 6.1-inch colour touch display. It's your gateway to all the Toyota Link, which is the Toyota apps. It also gives you access to your Bluetooth phone, your USB audio devices. You even get updates on what the car is doing, its fuel economy, and where you're doing everything right or wrong. It makes the car luxurious, but very smart. Now, if you're a fan of a decent stereo, the Cruiser model comes with an 11-speaker JBL audio system with digital radio, so you'll never be let down by tinny tunes on long drives ever again. Now, when it comes to the engine, you get a choice of 2. You can choose between a 2.2-litre Common turbo diesel, or like we have today, the 2.5-litre petrol engine. And of course, you can choose between automatic and manual, except for when you choose the Cruiser, because Toyota, for the first time ever, have said, if you're going to take the top of the range, you need to take the top of the range automatic with you. And I think they marry together really well. Now, Wayne, I've been driving the standard Cruiser for a couple of months, which I love. It's a great car to drive, but recently getting given the Cruiser to drive, absolutely fantastic. It's just a huge step up.
What you find as you step through the range is that there are a lot of subtle features that come with that as well. Things like the wind deflectors, the noise reduction.
Yeah, there's a few things I've played with. Firstly, the look of the car. I'm noticing that as I'm driving around in this car, it's got the bigger wheels. I love the silver on the black, and I notice a lot more people actually looking at the car thinking, what is that? Wow, it's a RAV4.
Well, Toyota actually started the SUV market. We read today how the SUV market has really exploded, and Toyota actually pioneered that market with the RAV4.
Okay, now you drive your product, which is great. So you'd be used to some of the features I'm talking to you about. The Toyota Connect, you can go onto the actual GPS system, and if you don't know the address, you can search a business, gives you the address, push start, and it takes you to the destination. I thought that was a great feature.
That's right. So we've seen the engineers really work on the motor, look at the fuel efficiencies, the CO2 output, but now we've seen them move into the cabin, and a lot of great technology features that we're used to with our phone and computers have now really been integrated into the car as well.
There are a couple of spots where you think you're on a busy road, it's hard to monitor, but the blind spot monitoring works perfectly.
So what we've seen with the engineering, I'm always amazed at the space that the cabins the engineers can create. The seating's a little bit lower, I've got a lot more headroom without compromising that passenger room. The other thing with your blind spot monitoring to go hand in hand with that is they've actually redesigned the pillar, so your peripheral vision is actually improved, and so you can really see everything around you.
Okay, now as I discovered these features, I thought it was fair to say to you, what I might need is this car for a couple more months, the new Zoomobile, and we'll let you know what we think of it. I'm going to keep a diary and keep updating people with the features that I find over the shows to come. What do you reckon, deal?
Sounds fantastic.
Done. Look at that. There you go. Now, if you want to get yourself a great bargain, make sure you go and see our friends at City Toyota. Go to citytoyota.net.au. Follow the links from ZoomTV. It's that simple. After the break, thanks to John Hughes Kia, Alan Simons introduces you to the all-new Kia Sorento. That's next on ZoomTV.
Here's some long-awaited news from the Korean car manufacturer Kia. The new Sorento has been released with a new exterior and some major improvements to the interior. The whole package has been updated without affecting their value for money proposition, which has made this car a worldwide hit. So, you ready to be impressed? Let's have a look. Although it may appear as merely a facelift from the outside, the 2013 Kia Sorento SI wagon is practically an entirely new car underneath. Using the same platform as its cousin, the Santa Fe, the Sorento has a stronger, re-engineered body shell with minor improvements to the powertrain's efficiency brought about by lighter components. Its biggest advantage is a revised, locally engineered suspension tune, which has brought the Kia Sorento's ride and handling characteristics on par with anything you'll drive in this country. And I mean anything. Mercedes, BMW, Volvo, Audi, the big Australians. To slide behind the wheel of the Kia is to put yourself in charge of one of the nicest driving experiences you could ever wish for. Now, it wasn't that long ago that, given the choice of listening to a Justin Bieber album or saying something nice about Kia, I would have preferred to have the blood streaming out of my ears listening to Justy. But that's all changed. That's how good these cars are. They're brilliant. So far as engine and transmissions are concerned, the Kia Sorento offers us the 3.5-litre V6 petrol engine with 204 kilowatts of power matched to the very smooth 6-speed auto transmission. We've mentioned before that Kias are designed under the guidance of Peter Schreier, the company's head of design and the man responsible for numerous iconic Audi and Volkswagen models. And it shows. The updated front and rear ends sharpen the Sorento's appeal, and Kia has taken the bold move of going for vertically styled fog lights for both ends, along with LED daytime running lights. And as far as the inside is concerned, well, there's a whole lot going on inside here as well. The first 2 rows are very spacious and quite comfortable, so going on a short or long trip, comfort-wise, will not be a problem. The kiddies-only 3rd row is really quite good, and entry and exit from it is much better than some of the other 7-seater SUVs that are on the market today. The Kia Sorento SI is the entry point into the range, but still provides front and rear parking sensors, Bluetooth telephone and audio streaming capability coupled to a 6-speaker audio system, dual-zone climate control, 2nd-row air vents, 17-inch alloy wheels, the full complement of active and passive safety features, dual front airbags, plus side and curtain airbags for 1st and 2nd row, and cruise control. Now, you're going to want to know about some of the other important aspects of your Kia purchase. You see, when you invest in Sorento, you don't just jump in, drive away, see you later. You'll have at least 2 other passengers with you. 5 years, unlimited kilometre warranty, and cap price servicing. All this for $38,000 drive away. All in all, this is another great Kia motor car. The best place to see one is at John Hughes Kia. Go to johnhughes.com.au or follow the links from ZoomTV.
Now here on ZoomTV, we love to explore things. We love to go behind the scenes with our sponsors and find out exactly what makes them tick, like we do with United Fuel Injection each and every week. We've taken you inside their operation, we've introduced you to their technical engineers, and we've also introduced you to their leaders of the different departments. Well, today, we thought we'd look at one of their customers' cars, and I'm joined by Matt, one of their leaders.
Aaron, how are you,
Matt?
buddy? Good,
now,
thanks.
You had to do some alterations to this car for one of your clients.
We did. We've done a lot of modifications to this car to get it to the horsepower level that he asked me to get it to.
Okay, was that the brief? You had to increase the horsepower?
We did. This is the second car we've done for the owner of this car, Joe Natoli. The last one we did was 200 rear wheel horsepower. He bought this car and came to me and said, "Matt, I want 250."
Okay, how about you take me through, pop the bonnet and take me through some of the
Absolutely.
changes.
As you can, I mean, the scoop gives it away. There's something going on under there.
Whoa, you can see you've done something here, Matt.
Yeah, there's some nice shiny parts in there. I mean, obviously we started by doing a pre-dyno run. It made 110 horsepower at the back wheels. Our brief was 250, so we knew we had to do a lot of changes. So we took the inlet manifold off because it's inefficient for what we wanted. We fitted one of our custom inlet manifolds, custom Mitsubishi TD05 turbos, bigger fuel pump to supply the fuel for the amount of boost, the 28 pound that we're running through this system. And we also needed to fit a larger intercooler to deal with the extra heat load of the engine, the 28 pound of boost. It makes a lot of heat, so that's why the intercooler is so big to deal with it all.
Now, Matt, I bet if everyone at home is thinking what I'm thinking, bigger turbo, bigger diesel fuel pump, this must absolutely scull diesel now.
Absolutely not, Aaron. Because we've increased the engine's overall efficiency, essentially your bang for buck out of your diesel is better. So the fuel economy either stays the same or it's a little bit less.
Okay, so it doesn't have to work as hard.
No, absolutely not. The engine's doing what it's asked to do so much easier.
Now, you know I'd normally believe you, don't you?
Yeah.
And I'd normally take on everything you say and I'd go home and I'd be a smarter man for it.
Absolutely.
Well, today I've got the owner of this car sitting in there so I can ask him some questions.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you for your help.
No worries,
I'm going to go in there and
thanks
talk to Joe.
Thanks.
Joe,
Aaron,
how are you, mate? Good to meet you.
how are you?
How about you take me for a drive and we go through some of your changes to your car? What do you reckon?
Pleasure, jump in.
So Joe, one of the first thing I noticed is you must be into forward driving because your car has been altered all over.
The car is set up for tough touring, a lot of tracks and forest work, as well as also getting out onto the beach with the family and getting away for weekends.
Okay, is that what motivated you to do the alterations to the engine?
Yeah, sure, because the sand over here in Western Australia is very soft and you need that little bit of extra torque and that little bit of extra power to manoeuvre through the sand dunes and to get you out of trouble if you do come across it.
So Joe, you now have over 250 horsepower. How has that reflected on the economy?
Well, Aaron, the economy is now at such a point where we're getting an extra 100 kilometres out of every tank of fuel. We don't have to touch the throttle hardly as much as before because we're not sucking quite as much fuel as what was required in the original setup.
Awesome, thanks for your time.
Pleasure.
So there you have it, straight from a customer's mouth. Now, if you would like to add torque or efficiency to your four-wheel drive, make sure you drop in and see the professionals at United Fuel Injection. For more info, go to zoomtv.com.au and follow the links. After the break, join me on board a V8 Supercar driven by Craig Lowndes himself. This week's Esanda Celebrity Hitchhiker. I'm with him next on ZoomTV. Okay, today, instead of looking at a car that zooms, we're going to look at someone that makes cars zooms, Mr. Craig Lowndes. How you doing, Craig?
Very well.
Thanks for coming on the show.
No problem at all.
Now, you're going to take me for a ride in this.
We definitely are. We're going to strap you up, we're going to get you changed, and then away we go.
Well, let's go suit up.
Let's go.
Mate, that was incredible. Thank you so much. Mate, look at me, I'm wringing wet. This is unbelievable. How do you do this? Like,
Well, well, I suppose we all grow up doing go-karts, Formula Ford, all the categories, and we eventually get to this stage. And of course, we take it for granted. But when we take people like you for a run, it's so satisfying. Go-karts is where you begin, you learn. You know, you learn all your craft, your lines, your brakes, your momentum, and then of course when you throw a bit of wet weather in there, then they go another level. Get to Formula Ford, you get to introduce your gearbox. You know, then you got your sort of Formula 3, sort of, and then you got wing slicks, and then you come to these big beasts.
Mate, one thing that I have to ask you is, you can't appreciate unless you actually get out there in the car, but how do you respond so quick?
It's one of those things, if you actually talk to people, as a driver when you're driving. They're fine as long as they can find their points. When I say points, your brake marker, your turn-in point, your apex, your exit, so you're just following the dots because you're sort of trying to memorise where you need to be and position the car on the track, get the right gear in the gearbox, and then away we go. As soon as you start going offline, car gets a bit sideways, then we actually got to start thinking about what we're doing.
I'm sweaty. I look like I've been through the jungle and you can keep going.
Oh, well, we're used to it, I suppose. We condition ourselves for that temperature. It's about 25 degrees hotter in a car than it is ambient. So if it's a 30-degree day, it's 55 in the car, plus we're decked out in all this gear, you finally get tuned to obviously what to expect. Your sensors and everything else take over. If the car starts to move around, tyres start to go off, a bit wet weather, sun comes out, that's when you start driving. The cars are quite loud and it's quite hard to hear and everything else, but I'm focused on what I'm doing. I got you in the corner of my eye doing this sort of the noddy, and basically I'm keeping an eye on you, but I'm watching where the track is and everything else. So there's a lot of things go on in course, and when you've got 30 other cars around you, your peripheral vision becomes very highly sensitive because you're trying to figure out what's around you, not just in front of you. And you got to wait, not only watch what's in front of you, make sure no one's attacking you from behind.
Well, mate, I admire you. Seriously, you are a champion because that was incredible. Now, if you want to know more about Craig, go to his website, craiglowndes.com.au. Now, Craig, I want you to try and have a crack at my job and wrap the show up, okay?
Look, hope you guys had a great vision of the ZoomTV. If you want to find out more about go-karting, growing up in the future of motor racing, go to zoom.com, get to the website, have a look, and you'll see us having a lot of fun.
So he's already stuffed up ZoomTV.
Oh, sorry, ZoomTV.
ZoomTV.com.au. We'll catch you next week. Thanks very much, mate. Really appreciate your time.
That's what I do. You do what you do.
Exactly. And that's a wrap.